Hi, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
We're Untitled Nerd Network. This is the 14th overall. I'm not even going to keep track of the
I
actual
wish you
number
would
anymore.
quit doing that. For what reason do you think that they don't care if it's this episode we did. They want to know what episode we're reviewing.
Season 2, Episode 1 is titled Guy Walks into a Psychiatrist Office. And it
And
was,
I wish I knew the rest of that joke because it's probably pretty funny.
I think the episode was the joke.
Maybe it was.
I mean, I'm like, look, I'm
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
yeah, there was like some good stuff in this episode. But also, in my opinion, this is probably, in terms of just overall structure and everything, this is probably the weakest episode of the series so far.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, it was a good. It was. It was actually. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. It was only an okay season.
Yeah.
It wasn't all. It had a nice entrance, and the entrance, the way it sets it up, like, you know, sets it up really nicely to let you know kind of what's been going on between.
Yeah.
But after that, really kind of lacking.
The opening to this
Some
episode.
odd things happening that I don't even know about.
We'll
Like,
cover those. I don't know, like the opening, and having seen every Sopranos episode, this opening is the best opening of any of the episodes.
and I could see that.
It was easily my favorite, and I would
said the opening lets you think this is actually going to be a really good episode.
yeah. And now that I've watched it again,
Yeah,
this is one of those episodes that watching it the first time was better than watching it the second time, because I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't really pick up anything new from this one.
Not
Hell,
really.
I didn't even remember most of it either. Um, but this is funny, but this kind of reminds me, and this is a thought that I've had for a long time. Like season 2 of The Sopranos reminds me of season 2 of the Thundercats.
Oh yeah.
Everything was already established, and like you started, like season 2 of the Thundercats is when they threw just a bunch of random new Thundercats in there. Like, oh my god, we've discovered more Thundercats, off in space or some shit. And this episode, it was just to sell more action figures. And so this episode, like, starts introducing new people, like Tony's sisters. And, you start seeing, like, a bunch of new people. And it's like, hey, you know what?
Because, the leader got, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just
arrested,
funny.
And so everybody's kind of having a switch and they're having to be used. Which
like,
I understand it. But, I don't know.
You've got the other two people, from at the like Christopher, basically frauded his way into being a stockbroker. He's like the head of this stock company where they're cheating the system to try to make money. And yeah, it's like, holy crap. But yeah, you've got
that whole situation was so strange to me. Like, I didn't understand the point of them trying to do that.
They're basically getting into securities and financial fraud. Yeah. They're doing it with a cover of a real office. They've got all kinds of stockbrokers, and they're having to mingle with the public, and that doesn't turn out well much at all.
I mean, it already isn't. Like, it's already starting to crumble, first episode. Because I just think whoever's idea this was, and I don't know whose it was, I assume it's Tony's. Maybe it was Tony's idea to do this. I don't know. Whoever's idea was dumb. I think this is a dumb idea. I think Christopher knows this is a dumb idea.
This is coming
and
as
because I'm not saying he wasn't using, but now he's using excessively, self-medicate, because he hates where he's at.
Yeah.
And It's not doing Christopher any favors either. Like
The whole stockbroker idea, if I'm not mistaken, came apart directly from conversation Tony was having with the guys, neighbor, and them. They was talking about buying and selling stocks, and there's a lot of money in that, right? And everybody just kind of wanted to talk about his mob activities, but
right.
that was what planted the seed there.
That maybe he could make it more than what it was, and all that. Yeah, that's not. Now I did enjoy the plot with his sister because that builds on Tony's character, and adds to that.
Now they did confirm that his mom didn't have a stroke, but what I gathered, it had all the same symptoms.
So it had the same effects.
Yeah, and she's still the same old manipulative. Yeah.
That she is. Playing the sister. Played Meadow while she was.
Like, I'm going to give you this so you won't forget me.
Which, she's playing a part, but some old people do like that.
Yeah.
They do. Like my great grandmother, she got so up in age. Like, break down and cry when we, because she didn't see her that next weekend. She was at that age, and it really bothered her. Well, she wasn't a sound mind either. Yeah. She thought everything on the TV in our house. So.
I had a my grandmother. This is a story about my grandmother. My grandmother told me this story that she had an aunt back when TV first became very widespread.
Yeah.
That she would request prayer at church for the characters on like General Hospital.
Aww, that's so precious, though. Oh my God.
But yeah,
that's so precious.
Yeah, and nobody like had the heart to tell her.
Of course not. I'm sure they did anyway. Just to. Anyway. I would. Okay, off subject. I would love to work with old people. It would break my heart every time I pass by.
Yeah. Hashtag old people stories.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will tell some shit about me one day.
Maybe.
I
can't imagine what Joseph will say about us when he gets older.
That 80-year-old asshole still doing video game streams. What's that?
Anyway, we
this
back on subject.
It's newfangled virtual reality. When I was a kid, we had TVs. And when I was 40, we had TVs.
Anyway. Let's go back on subject.
I mean, we've covered the gist of the episode.
Well, the sister's, trying to make it like wants to take care of the mother, but really she's just trying to butt in on the money.
We did get to see Dr. Melfi.
Yes, that was probably like the most important plot, other than Pussy coming back.
Yeah,
but like, with everything that went on, Tony had her out of office, out of town, doing visits in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And when he finally gets the word to come back, first of all, she's like, "How did you even fucking find me?" And then quits talking to him. Finally finds her lunch some day. She lets him know, "Hey, one of my patients killed themselves. Your action." She's a person that really takes her job seriously, takes it to heart, and really cares about her patients, and was very upset and had every right to be. So, do you think that they'll make up, though?
Maybe. Look, I'm going to go ahead and say that that scene seemed pretty cut and dry. It had a very definitive bookend feel to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be very surprised if, like, they continue. Very surprised. But at the same time, I don't think no one in town is going to.
Yeah, because he was sitting with somebody else. You could tell the chemistry wasn't there.
Right.
It almost had the same feeling like they had brought in a new actor to replace her, and they were like struggling to work together. It had that much of a, and I'm sure it was meant to be that way.
And it was meant to be that way. Literally was like, I know who you are, and I can't treat you, basically.
Uh-huh. All right. So, what do you give this episode?
7 really. It really went on.
This one for me gets a
It was
6.
It was okay.
Giving it a 6, and honestly it would have been about a 4 if it wasn't the first 3.
Right.
So, yeah.
And Pussy comes back, and he left town to fix his back, to help his back. But he also left town because thought they were going to kill him because they thought he was the rat.
Yep.
And he wasn't the rat. And it upset him. It hurt his feelings.
This is going to be, I don't know, I almost feel like, because in real time it's been about a week to watch The Sopranos, and I think that long break in between the episodes kind of put me in the right mindset for the season premiere. You could tell that the way they structured shows and everything for 2000 is a little bit different than how they structure them now. It's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think some of the stuff from like TV shows that's 20 years and older, especially if you haven't seen them, the storytelling may suffer because your brain has been conditioned to watch TV a different way.
True.
And it's almost like having to relearn how to ride a bike or something. It's almost like your brain is having to relearn how to watch TV because the storytelling element over 20 years has changed probably more so than any 20-year period in TV history. It's just interesting to look and see how things have changed that much. The Sopranos is kind of the start of where we ended up here. But anyway, that was me getting all deep and philosophical.
Fine.
About the history of television.
Well, what was up with Tony getting the little hand?
He was patting him down for a wire.
Oh, okay. I don't know. He just had this odd look on his face that like it might have been more than that.
No.
It was weird. So you don't think so? You want to, but I'm telling you.
You're saying that
there's a fanfic there.
Okay, and with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Okay. Wrap then.
I'm Lonnie.
Delicious.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network. We'll be back in a day or two for the next one. It'll be the second episode of season.
Yay.